Karl Thompson is an economist from the Centre for Economics and Business Research, an independent economics consultancy based in the UK. Karl, welcome. Do you think this goes far enough?
I'd agree with you. I think if we rewind a day ago, we were thinking about new policies, perhaps in the region of up to £10 billion, and then they came forward with a package much larger at £15 billion. So this is really quite significant, and especially from a Conservative government. It makes up for quite a lot of the shortcomings of their previous policy announcements earlier in the year. But as the Chancellor said, this will not go far enough. It won't go fully. It won't fully help everyone, and that is not really something that policy could really solve right now in terms of the cost rises that we are seeing.
OK, well, let's break it down a bit. To be blunt, who's eligible for what?
So the biggest component of this support to £9 billion is going to the most vulnerable in society. And I think that is what is being praised the most about these new spending commitments. So there's £650 that is being given to recipients of state benefits, whether that's universal credit or other legacy benefits. There's also a payment of £150 for those with disabilities in September, and then also payments for pensioners of an extra £300 in November and December. Alongside that, sorry.
Apologies. I wanted to ask you about the criticism from some who are saying this intervention will be inflationary. The IFS, the respected think tank, suggesting that putting tens of billions of pounds into the economy at a time of high inflation could stoke additional demand and make inflation much more permanent in the UK economy. Is that not fair criticism?
I think there's definitely something to that argument. On the other side, on the other hand, the majority of this spending is going to those who need it most, the most vulnerable in society, on the lowest incomes. And the argument that spending by them will be fueling inflation in the overall economy, I think, is a little bit less strong, because their spending at the moment is often just in order to pay the bills and put food on the table. Whereas if more of this spending had gone to higher income households, the risk to inflation would be larger. But it's definitely something the Bank of England will be watching in terms of the extra policy that's handed £400, that will hand £400 to all households in October.
It's the kind of economics you expect from the Labour Party, from the opposition party, isn't it? But many members of the Conservative Party, I guess, might be unhappy to see their government intervening in perhaps a free market. This isn't business as usual for a Conservative government, is it?
It's definitely not. And it comes off the back of 2 years of extraordinary spending by the Conservative Treasury and government. Rishi Sunak, you might have noticed in his announcement, likes to stress the fact that he's a tax-cutting chancellor, but that is simply not the case when you look at the numbers. The tax increases that we have seen and are going to see are really quite extraordinary, especially for a Conservative government.
And once you've signed up to this principle, I guess that many people will suggest that there's a global food crisis round the corner. I mean, how about a windfall tax on all of those rich supermarkets?
I'm open to considering that idea. I think if you look at the oil and gas companies, this is really, really quite significant, the profits that they're making. And the big U-turn that's been made here on windfall tax is technically designed in order to ease some investment out of these companies. So I think how the windfall tax has been designed in the end might, well, according to the Treasury, is actually going to increase investment. But we'll wait to see how that pans out.
Karl Thompson in London, thank you very much indeed for talking to us.